Everyone, this is Jimmy Perry here with the Power Play Podcast, and I think I X'd out of that page. Great. So, I am here to answer, not really, I'm going back over something I wrote like 2 months ago, or back over an answer I wrote 2 months ago, and one second, it's loading. While it's loading, I'm just gonna give you guys an update on me. Well, I think everything's been pretty cool. I still haven't been in the gym, but the bands are still working out pretty nice. I have some stuff I'm getting over right now, so that's what's contributing to me not going to the gym. But it works out for me anyway, because the bands are cool. Um, so our front squats alone effective as long as I'm deadlifting as well. And that to answer that question, we just have to go back to the question that I believe needs to be answered is do front squats target the same muscles that any other movement you could be performing? Like do they provide enough stimulus for that muscle? Do they provide enough stimulus for the muscles that you wouldn't have to do any other movement? So like back squats. I mean, no. If you're talking about muscle development, no, there's other movements you should be doing. But that's just me saying, yeah, you should be doing all these other movements because no one movement. That's a good way to develop muscle imbalances. Focusing on one movement, you're going to strengthen the muscles that are worked during that movement, but you're not touching other things. So I'm just gonna read off of this stuff. I honestly would say, yeah, you get this is what I wrote at first. So you get activation of the posterior chain through like other like so if you're doing back squats and front squats, same activation. You grow massive quads with the front squats, and you develop glutes with your deadlift as well as the front squats, and you touch your hamstrings and stuff. So you got a perfect workout combination, two movements that complement one another. Um, yeah, but so, and this is just a case for the front squat. Front squats have several benefits. Included in those benefits are the ability to expose muscle imbalances / weaknesses, as well as being able to hit the leg muscles in a completely profound way. So first benefit is you're able to pinpoint muscle imbalances. Both the back and the front squat are known for showing or making obvious muscular imbalances and weaknesses. Some of the more common issues known by the front squat are issues with thoracic extension, overdeveloped pecs. Yeah, overdeveloped pecs. That imbalances in the shoulder girdle, core muscle weaknesses, issues with hip mobility, and lack of ankle flexion. Both the back squat can show this too. The back squat can show lack of ankle flexion. It showed that with me because I had surgery on one of my legs, and anytime I would back squat and try and get to depth, as soon as I tried to get to depth, my ankle or the back of my foot would come off the ground. That's a sign my leg isn't like my ankle isn't bending as much as it probably should be. So, and then there's also core muscle weaknesses. Any movement can show you that. Front squat's good at doing that. Back squat's good at doing that too. When you're over relying on certain things, you're not able to move certain weights or whatever. Back squat's good at that too. The second one is target the quads and glutes in profound ways. It's a bit easier to act or achieve depth and full range of motion with the front squat. This means that you'll be able to target the quads and glutes in a way that's a bit different than the back squat, and this will also eventually develop into you becoming a more developed and well-rounded athlete. Also, help you learn how to maintain an upright position. To support weight in the front squat, individuals must have a fair amount of strength in their mid to upper back. So without having a fair amount of strength in the upper back, it's a typo. Glad I'm reading this. But so I'm gonna skip over that. And due to the bar path, the front squat forces you to bend at the ankles and knees way more than at the hips. So to have a stable position to move the weight, your behind and feet need to be directly underneath the barbell. And so, I mean, you have to stay. You can't like, you don't want to bend over when you're doing a front squat like you can with the back squat. You have to stay more upright. So one reason for that is so the weight doesn't fall out of your hands and you hurt yourself. That's happened to me once. I was trying to reach depth and the weight rolled out of my hands. Almost hurt myself. I think it just no. I just let it fall into safeties, which is a great reason why you use safeties because that was a good. That was, that's almost actually very dangerous. Um, so front squats also develop better front rack mobility. A common issue individuals have when they're working with heavy weights on their front squats is that their upper back rounds on the eccentric part of the movement. That can be a sign of a lack of mobility in the thoracic region of the back. Once athletes loosen up this part of their spine, it becomes easier for them to rise in an upright position. Next is easily transfers to other CrossFit or to CrossFit exercise or to other CrossFit exercises. I never thought of the front squat as just a CrossFit exercise because I don't do CrossFit and I've done it. I just thought of it as a movement to develop certain muscles when they're not being touched by other movements. So most strength gains you make will have a carryover to some other part of your fitness journey. For example, the below movements will be improved. Any of the CrossFit movements. So thrusters, cleans, wall balls, which I've never heard of. And then back squat, which is like, it's not a CrossFit movement, but it's a CrossFit. They do it in CrossFit. Or it's not solely, exclusively a CrossFit movement. Next is, and lastly is, last but not least, I should say, um, front squats build rock hard core strength. So you're resting upwards of several hundred pounds upon your shoulders with nothing but your upright torso and your hands keeping the barbell from dropping to the ground. So the front squat is 1 second. Also, it's almost a perfect anti-rotation exercise. The muscles in your torso that you use to remain upright and generate torque also help you in the front squat when you have a loaded barbell on your shoulders. So, yeah, I'm sorry for the low energy. Recovering from something, so that's what it is. Thank you guys for listening, and sorry for missing the last post. You guys hear from me next time, and I appreciate anybody who's been watching this. All right, bye.